bar, finishing a meal with a sweet is a big deal around the dinner table at my place. I'm more of a savory guy, you know, but sometimes it's nice to have a sweet treat when your kids have their friends over and also to finish a meal. I love making desserts from scratch because then you know the ingredients that's in them. And as a parent, that gives me a total peace of mind that I'm controlling the ingredients. Today, my little buddy is joining me to make some sweet treats. How about we make some raw cookie dough bars? You already started snacking, does that sound good? All right, so these bars are very similar to cookie dough, okay? We all love snacking on cookie dough, and this is a great way to really highlight that with these bars. You can chill them, cut them in advance, freeze them. They're excellent as a sweet treat on the go, or also to be packing in lunches. So let's get started. So let's start off, you get a big bowl. I have some melted coconut butter. Here you go, you wanna whisk for me? Grab this whisk, okay? I have some melted coconut butter here. Yum. All right, we have a little splash of milk. Okay, you wanna whisk that for me, bud? You know how to do it? Whisk it like this as I'm adding things. All right, then I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla, a little vanilla extract in there, okay? Next, we're gonna add a little bit more sweetener. Let's do some maple, looks so good. Whenever I'm choosing sweets, I always use maple. It's really my go-to sweetener of choice. It smells good, doesn't it? I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. When you add a pinch of salt, I've mentioned this before, it actually brings out the sweetness, so you have to add less sweeteners. So speaking of less sweeteners, let's add some coconut sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of coconut sugar in there, a little bit, all of it, how about that? You whisking it up, whisk it really good. All right, so you can choose to use lots of different flours here. I'm choosing to use gluten-free options. So I have some almond meal, okay? Some ground almonds, this is almond flour or almond meal. Meal tends to be a little bit more consistency, more texture, whereas flour is definitely a little finer. I have some oats also, so I'm gonna grind up some oats. Can you keep on whisking for me? I'm gonna grind up some oats, as fine as they will go. You're gonna close your ears? Okay. You ready? This one's not gonna be that loud. All right, so this looks like it is nice and finely ground, as ground as it's gonna go in this little food processor. This little food processor, these are great to have on hand, just if you're making a quick, you know, sort of relish, a quick sauce, a quick dip, you know. Really nice to have on hand, rather than busting out the big food processor all the time. All right, so we have some oat flour and we have some almond meal, almond flour. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of mix these up. You wanna keep going? I'm gonna do almost equal parts. So when you're making any kind of batter that has dry and wet components, you can play around with the quantities, because if it's too wet, you add a little more dry batter. If it's too dry, add a little more wet batter, right? So we're gonna stir this up, and we want it to be a cookie dough consistency. So I'm gonna grab, it's kind of hard to do, huh? So at this point, we're gonna actually use this spoon. And what's a good, you can't do that? Well, let's stir it up. This is probably gonna take a lot more flour. So let's use a little bit more flour. So I'm gonna add a little bit more almond flour. Keep stirring, keep stirring. That's your part. Can you sprinkle those in? Can you start adding those slowly as I'm stirring? So, you know, with most baking, obviously with all baking, you need to be very precise. But this is why I love this recipe. Keep going, not just 3 chips. This is why I love this recipe, because really it's no-bake cookie dough, so you really can't mess it up. Giving a good balance of the sweetener with the liquids with the dry components. This is just a great recipe to make with the kids, because you don't have to be precise. You know, it's just adding some more dry, as I mentioned, if you need to, a little bit more wet ingredients if you need to. And I'll show you the consistency that we're looking for. Let's keep adding, keep going on the chocolate chips. I want some chocolate in there. Add a little bit more oat flour. That looks delicious. Doesn't that look good? What's your favorite part? Do you like chocolate chips? Do you like maple syrup?
I like chocolate chips.
You like chocolate chips?
Yeah.
I do too. Okay, that's perfect. That's a good amount right there. Or do you want to add a little bit more? That looks good. Okay, so you can see this consistency now. You gotta pick up, show them a little bit, hold it in your hand, roll it into a little ball. Can you do that? Here, roll it into a little ball. So this is a consistency that you want. This might be a little wet, but you can see it doesn't stick to your hands, okay? But it starts to break apart. We're gonna add a little bit more dry here.
Make it in a ball.
Nice, that looks great. I'm gonna add a little bit more dry ingredients. And the reason that we use the coconut oil we use is melted. And if you don't have coconut oil that's melted, you can simply just throw it in the microwave real quick or put it in a pan on low and it melts very, very quickly, okay? So, and what's nice about using melted coconut oil is when it actually sets up in the fridge, it firms up, all right? So it's gonna really make these cookie dough bars a lot easier to slice, okay? Now that your batter is made at the consistency you want, that is nice thickness, we're gonna go ahead and basically let it set. So are you ready for this? So we have some parchment paper. Just gonna cut it to size or close to size, just so it doesn't stick to the bottom and it'll pop out real easily. Let's move this. Here, let's get your spoon. You're gonna help me make it really smooth.
No, my hands, no, no.
Okay. Do you wanna go wash your hands? Okay, bud. Okay, you ready? All right, now that we've added this, let's go ahead and just press it down. This is the fun part. Ugh. All right, press it down. You can use a rubber spatula.
Yeah, okay.
Might need a rubber spatula for this, huh? Part of cooking is getting everything messy, right? Okay, let's turn it. Let's get this nice and smooth. Is it getting there? All right, so we've just made sure that this is completely smooth. And now this goes in the fridge, chills for about a half hour. That coconut oil is really gonna solidify, firm up these little bars, and then we're gonna take them out and cut them and they'll be ready to serve. All right, let's check on those raw cookie dough bars. They ready?
Yeah.
All right, so they have firmed up quite a bit. Oh, they feel nice and firm now, huh? Feel it, is it firmed up? Feels good, right? Okay, so I have my knife, excuse me, bud. I have my knife, and what I like to do is I like to kind of dip the knife in water, and that makes it a little bit easier to cut a clean cut with these. So I'm just going around the edges, because it definitely gets stuck around the edges. Okay, let's check them out. Look at this, look at this. Oh, those are good, huh? Check it out. Now we're gonna serve them. We're gonna first clean it up a little bit. Here's your little plate, okay? To get a clean cut, you just dip the knife in water. It's gonna go around the edge. Obviously keep the little edges for snacking. Okay, ready? Ready, bud? You want a bar? They look good, don't they? That look good? We're gonna do some smaller bars, okay? Those look yummy. You wanna try one with me?
Yeah.
Gonna try one? Here you go, bud. Let's try it. What do you think?
It's chocolate.
See, what's in there? It's a chocolate chip. Pretty good? Good stuff.
Chocolate. Yum.
I would keep these in the freezer. That way they're really firm when you're packing them in a lunch or on a picnic. I love having those. Kids love them too. All right, so one of the first things that I stopped consuming when I was younger was dairy products. So at that time, I was looking for so many different types of non-dairy products on the market, and there really was not that many. There was soy and there was rice milk. Only did almond milk soon come afterwards. But you know, making your own non-dairy milks is super easy, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing this. So the other day even, you know, we ran out of, oat milk. We usually do a lot of oat milk at the house, and it literally took 2 minutes to make milk for my kids' cereal. So I'm gonna show you how easy it is. All right, so we have some almonds. These can be raw or they can be soaked. You can do this with any kind of nuts or seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and add them. I usually do about 1 part to 4 parts or 1 part to 3 parts, depending on how thick you want the milk. Okay, if I want it more of a cream, I'll go almost double. Okay, so I'll do 1 part to 2 parts or so, maybe a little bit more. But that's it. Almonds, water, blender. You can use any kind of cheap blender. You don't need any you really don't need any kind of fancy blender, fancy high-speed blender. Any kind of blender will do because you are going to strain it and strain out those extra particles that are in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up. All right, so that looks blended well. Again, you can use any kind of nuts or seeds in here. I like to make almond milk. It is very neutral of a milk. If you're, warming any kind of milk, we're gonna actually make a chocolate milk in a little bit. But you can also make like a pecan milk, which is very nice, macadamia milk, which is very nice. So I have some cheesecloth. You can do the same thing with any kind of sprouting bag that you can pick up. At most groceries, you can also use a fine mesh strainer. All right, and the nice thing about making your own milks is there's no stabilizers involved. There's no stabilizers, there's no gums, and all it is really 2 ingredients. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in batches here. Okay, and I'm just gonna press that out. All right, so what you're left with is this leftover pulp. Okay, you're left with this leftover almond pulp. You can basically put this on a dehydrator, or you can put it in the oven on low on parchment and dry it on low heat. And then you can zip it up as an almond meal, almond flour. Very nice to use in baking, and especially the no-bake raw cookie dough bars that we made. All right, so now that you have your almond milk, you can put it in the fridge and it'll store for about 3 to 5 days. It will separate, so all you have to do is shake it up in the jar. I like to keep these in large mason jars in the fridge. And the nice thing about not using sweeteners and other flavors and just using the almonds in the water or any kind of nut or seed in the water is you can use them for sweet and savory applications. So it's nice to have a fresh component around the house. We're just gonna pour this in a mason jar, and I will use it in other recipes, sweet and savory. All right, now that we've made that fresh almond milk, let's go ahead also and make some hot chocolate. That sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we have that fresh almond milk. You can use any kind of soy milk or oat milk with this also. I'm gonna put this in the pot. Do you enjoy hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you like in your hot chocolate?
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. I'm gonna bring this up to a low to medium heat. I'm gonna add these and we're gonna melt them, okay? So typically with any kind of chocolate milk or hot chocolate, you can just use cocoa powder and sweetener. I like to make these a little bit more decadent, so I have these mini vegan chocolate chips around. I'm gonna add those to,
I want some more.
I'm gonna leave a couple in here for you, okay? And I'm gonna also add a little bit of cocoa powder. We're gonna bring this up to a light simmer. What do you think? You like maple?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna add a touch of maple in there. And do you like vanilla?
Yes.
You do? You like vanilla ice cream or anything?
I like some strawberry.
You like strawberry ice cream? You know what? We should have made strawberry milk then, huh? That would have been fun. Let's do chocolate right now. So I am just whisking this, okay? The reason I have this on a lower heat is because you do not want those little mini chocolate chips to burn. So you want to just constantly be whisking, okay? So we're gonna whisk these up until those chocolate chips are melted. I don't want this to be too hot, because we want to enjoy it right now, and especially for any kiddos, it's nice to give them something that's a little more lukewarm. So I always add a pinch of salt to just about everything, even sweets. Brings out any kind of the delicate flavors, whether it's from the sweetener or whether it's from the vanilla. All right, so this is done, all right? I don't want it too hot. I want this nice and warm for me and my buddy to enjoy. Let's pour it in a glass. That looks so good. Should we put a little bit of marshmallows in there? What do you think? You mind doing that for me? Can you put them in both? This is a really nice sweet treat, especially when the kids have their friends over. If you're having movie night or if you're just sitting around a campfire camping, we do that a lot in the summertime. And I love a chocolate milk in all times of year. Doesn't have to be cold. What do you think?
Good.
Is it good? Awesome. Well, thanks for helping today. I appreciate it. Can you give me 5? Awesome. Thanks, buddy.